Tyler here with GP Knives, and while we all love our venerable EDC folding knives, sometimes you need a little bit more. So today we're going to take a look at the best of bushcraft. So we're going to jump right in with the B41 Bushcrafter from LionSteel, and all the knives that we're going to look at today are great tools to have if you want to thrive and survive in a wilderness environment. So the B41 is specifically designed as a bushcraft knife. You got a very utilitarian drop point profile. The blade is Schleipner tool steel, which is going to be similar to a modified D2. So you've got a great balance of edge retention with good corrosion resistance and toughness. You got that high saber grind with a secondary bevel, which means that sharpening in the field is going to be much easier, especially on a steel like Schleipner, which is going to have a higher edge retention. For the scales, we have a fully contoured micarta on this version. There are other materials available as well, and these have been specifically modified for a more ergonomic feel and slim carry. We've also got a crowned spine all the way around, which is going to make for a more comfortable feel in the hand, as well as when putting thumb pressure on the spine of the blade. And then we do have a 90-degree angle grind on this exposed pommel for ferro rod striking for fire making. So just a great all-around design with solid materials, and we're going to see a lot of that in these bushcraft knives. Next up, we'll take a look at a knife from the ESEE Camp Lore series, the PR4. PR stands for Patrick Rollins, the designer, who was heavily inspired by Horace Kephart, and we'll talk a little bit more about him later. The knife has, again, a nice drop point design. The blade is 1095 carbon steel, which is going to have good toughness and is going to be very easy to sharpen in the field. The blade, again, has that high saber grind for added durability, and it's got a nice tumbled black oxide finish on the blade with a satin polished spine, and that's going to give you that 90-degree angle for the ferro rod striking. Again, we've got canvas micarta scales on here and a nice straight simple design for good versatility, and they have good heavy milling on here for solid traction. So a little more of a modern take on the classic Kephart design. Next up, we'll take a look at the Mora Garberg. The Mora Garberg is a modern full tang construction design. We've got a Sandvik 14C 28N stainless steel blade, which is going to be a great balance of edge retention, corrosion resistance, and toughness. And it's also going to take a nice sharp edge easily. We've got a modified Scandi grind or Scandinavian grind, which typically runs right down to the edge, but it does have a very small micro bevel, which is going to make for easier sharpening and maintenance. We've got an exposed full tang here for striking a ferro rod, or a 90-degree edge on the spine, which will do the same thing. The polymer handle overwraps the blade, which prevents contact in cold weather, and the neutral barrel-shaped design is ergonomic and secure in multiple grips. Next up, we have a great modern take on the classic Nesmik in the Tops Camp Creek Fire Edition. George Washington Sears, also known as Nesmik, was a late 19th century travel writer for Field and Stream and an avid outdoor adventurer. And he designed a knife that has come to be synonymous with his name, with this upswept profile and large belly. The Camp Creek Fire Edition is a modern take on this design and has a blade of S35VN, so you're going to get great edge retention and corrosion resistance with good toughness. It is a little more difficult to sharpen, but that is the trade-off for that increased edge retention. We've got a handle of black and red G10, a modern composite which is durable and weather resistant, and again you've got a nice generous handle with a relatively neutral design that is going to be secure and comfortable in multiple grips, and some strategic jimping on the spine here for traction and control. And that brings us to the Kabar BK62. This is actually based off of the original 1900s Kephart design. And Horace Kephart is most well known for writing a book called Woodcraft and Camping, which is a quintessential outdoor and bushcraft field guide. So you can see it does have some resemblance to the ESEE knife shown previously. You've got that long spear-like drop point blade. This one is stonewashed 1095, and we've got contoured walnut wood scales based off of the classic design. It is a full tang construction with stainless hardware to attach the handles for a nice secure hold there. And again, we've got that neutral design that's comfortable in multiple grips for good versatility in use. Next up, we'll take a look at a classic Norwegian design from Helle knives, and this is the Jegermester. So we have a pretty traditional through tang construction with a curly birch handle, a nice, well-contoured and hand-filling handle that is very comfortable, and a warm in-hand feel from that natural wood. The through tang construction is also going to protect the hand from contact with bare metal in cold weather. We've got a little spacer here between the handle and the blade, and then the blade is their proprietary triple laminate steel, which has some softer stainless steel on the outside with a harder core, which is going to deliver a great balance of strength, performance, and corrosion resistance. These knives do come with a modified Scandi grind and are razor sharp. It is a nice thin tang, which is going to give a blend of strength and cutting performance. And these knives are also a great choice for a lightweight knife, being probably the lightest among the knives you're going to see today, while it does sacrifice a little bit of strength for chopping. Next, we'll take a look at a modern take on a classic Scandinavian design. This is the Benchmade Leuku. A little bit smaller in scale than the traditional Leuku. This one does have modern high-performance materials with a blade of ultra-tough CPM 3V. It's going to be one of the toughest steels around, while delivering good modern edge retention and a reasonable amount of corrosion resistance for a non-stainless tool steel. We've got a Santoprene polymer, which has a rubberized feel all around the full tang construction. And you can see it's got some nice texturing molded into it for a nice, solid, and secure grip. And it is also going to provide some insulation against cold. Another great choice from Benchmade, we have the Anonimus. This is a more tactically inspired knife, but is still going to make a great bushcraft and woodcraft knife. You can see it does have a pronounced guard, and that is something you're not typically going to find on a strictly bushcraft knife. However, the rest of the design is very utilitarian and straightforward. We have a Cerakote coated CPM crewwear blade, which is another ultra tough modern tool steel that offers great edge retention. We've got contoured and milled G10 handle scales for a comfortable and solid grip. And you can see there are some scallops on the side here for some alternative grips as well. And inside the choil area by the guard, we have a ground area creating a 90-degree edge for ferro rod striking for fire making. And what better way to end than a knife with bushcraft in its name, the Tops Knives Brothers of Bushcraft Fieldcraft knife. We've got a nice modified Scandi grind, a thick 1095 full tank construction, contoured canvas micarta. We've got a striking groove here on the back. You can also see there are divots on both handles, which can be used for bow drill fire making. And the sheath comes with a ferro rod, fire starting rod as well. And the Fieldcraft knife is also available in multiple blade and handle options to meet your specific needs. And as an honorable mention, we have the ESEE 6. This is a more tactically oriented design that's a bit larger, but if you want something that's going to fill both roles well, the ESEE 6 is a great choice, and it does offer a longer blade length for added leverage in chopping tasks. Again, this is Tyler with GP Knives. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and stay sharp. If you like what you've seen today and you'd like to see more, like and subscribe below. Follow us on social media for updates on all new products, and comment below with your thoughts on our picks for best bushcraft.